And in this corner, we have our challenger, the ultra featherweight class Roawyn, the Professor of Pain. And in the other corner, we have the dreaded ultra heavyweight Deathclaw. Let's get ready to rumble! Or not. When danger reared its ugly head, he bravely turned his tail and fled. Yes, brave Sir Roawyn turned about, and gallantly he chickened out. Bravely taken to his feet, he beat a very brave retreat. Brave, brave, brave Sir Roawyn. Welcome back, my fair weather friends. This is episode 4 of my very hardcore all challenges at a loss for words walkthrough, and I thank you for joining me again as we take another exciting adventure through Fallout New Vegas. You fine folks may have noticed that I very nimbly avoided that Deathclaw and snagged a few extra caps off of a corpse behind him. If you're brave like me and not at all afraid to die, feel free to do the same. Gonna make a quick pit stop and say hi to my good buddy Neil. How's it going, Neil?
This is a dangerous place, human, especially for your kind. I suggest you turn back. There's nothing good waiting for you further on.
Oh, that Neil, such a kidder.
Keep saying things like that and I won't be so friendly. Not every super mutant is a brain-damaged brute. Many of us are just as intelligent as basic humans, and the rest don't really have any choice in the matter, do they?
Looks like somebody's got a case of the Mondays.
Since you apologized.
Danger? Maybe I'll just show myself out.
You must have heard her radio broadcasts. Though why a human would follow her invitation here is beyond me, unless you didn't listen very closely. The voice on the radio belongs to Tabitha, the supreme commander of Black Mountain, or as she calls it, the state of Utopia. She took control of this place almost 2 years ago. The super mutants here do whatever she says, and she says humans are to be killed on sight.
Neil, buddy old pal, why don't you go scout ahead for me?
While your enthusiasm is admirable, I think I'd best stay here so I can warn other travelers.
Come on, Neil, aren't we pals?
Marcus sent me here a couple of months ago to check on Black Mountain. I suppose you could say I came here as a spy. But with no signs of Tabitha's weakening and none of the second gens ready to revolt or to come to Jacobstown, there wasn't much I could do. Down here, on the other hand, I've saved a dozen mutants from heading up the mountain. It's not much, but it's something. I have my own reasons to stay away from Jacobstown for a while. Reasons we won't be discussing. So I've stayed here.
No worries, Neil, my man. I can handle my own.
The road is a series of switchbacks up to the peak. There are 3 blockades plus patrols. Sneaking past them would be difficult. Just before the peak is a kind of shanty village. More second gens there. And then there's Tabitha's compound, heavily guarded by her nightkin.
Oh, I get it, man. We got some covert
The nightkin are
ops
vicious
here.
in combat, and that's if you see them coming. Most don't. They were created to be soldiers and given devices to camouflage them in battle. Unfortunately, the devices drove most of them mad over time. They spend most of their time at the top of the mountain, but patrol the roads after dark as well. You do well to avoid the mountain at night.
That's okay. I'm terrified of the dark anyway.
For years, Black Mountain was a peaceful community. Its leader, Marcus, broadcast an invitation to mutants throughout the wasteland. That's how I found Black Mountain. So did others, most of them second-generation mutants. Marcus welcomed everyone. That was his mistake. The community ended up being mostly second-gen, not very bright, but easy to influence. Fine until the Nightkin came along, led by Tabitha. In a week, she had most of the second gens thinking she was some kind of prophet, and that she should be broadcasting her truth, not Marcus. Marcus saw what was coming and decided to leave before things got out of hand. He smashed the radio and left to found Jacobstown.
Not very good at smashing radios, is he?
There's a sad story behind that. Marcus smashed it just fine, but while we were gone, some ghoul named Raoul came along. Tabitha turned him into her personal mechanic. A slave, really. See, if I'd been standing down here, I could have warned him before it was too late.
Not too late for me. Thanks for the warning. I will avoid the danger. You know what? Jacobstown sounds like a much nicer place. Where is it?
The opposite of Black Mountain. A stable community of mutants, mostly. Led by a mentally stable leader. Humans are welcome there, so long as they behave themselves. Look northwest of Red Rock Canyon if you want to find it.
What if I'm not afraid? What if I want to face the danger?
Yes, I hear that sometimes. And then I never see the people who said it again.
All right then. Famous last words, I guess.
Still hanging
In
about?
that case, let's go the other direction. Shall we? Okay. Before saying goodbye to Neil, you might want to look around and loot anything useful in his shack. There's a few grenades on a shelf in here that could come in handy later. And next comes the fun part. We get to run along a cliff face chased by Deathclaws. Doesn't that just sound fun, kids? Nothing like running along a cliff face chased by a pack of Deathclaws to get the old cardio workout going. All right. And remember, including a Deathclaw in your workout routine may lead to decapitation and death. But if you follow these simple steps, you could stay alive long enough to reap the benefits of your workout. All right, step 1, hug the cliff. Step 2, don't look out there and see the Deathclaws. Keep your eyes firmly on the prize. Step 3, try not to fall. It's a doozy. And if you do fall, remember, curling up in the fetal position won't stop the Deathclaws from tearing you to pieces, but it will allow you to at least curl up into a ball and cry until the pain stops. Step 4, run faster. Those Deathclaws are right behind you, and again, don't look back. Sometimes it's better not to know how close you are from being skewered, decapitated, or dismembered. Step 5, don't get stuck on any rocks now. If you trip and fall, you could lose your head, literally. Step 6, don't forget all the previous steps. Just because you think you're in the clear, don't stop running. They could be right on your heels. And finally, don't stop to admire the scenery. There'll be plenty of time to admire the exhibits after the tour. And remember, keep your hands and feet attached at all times. It's good to be alive, isn't it? Can you smell that night air? Survival. So now that we've made it through the gauntlet, it's time to start heading towards Freeside. But on the way there, make sure you avoid discovering any unnecessary locations. We're going to be cutting it very close as it is, and discovering even one additional location can get you to level 2 before you're ready. So, do not discover anything. Try to run along a similar path as I am, and you shouldn't discover any unnecessary locales. So, since we have a long walk ahead of us, let me take this time to tell you a humorous story from my own personal experience. So, when my fiance and I first moved into our apartment, we decided one day that we wanted steaks. And I decided to cook the steaks. Now, our apartment does not allow grills, so we decided to broil the steaks in our oven. So, I set the oven to broil, proceeded to put the steaks on a broiling pan, and then put the broiling pan in the bottom compartment of the oven, and then we set the timer. So a while later, I checked on the steaks. They were still raw. So I set the timer again, went back to check on them a little while later. They were still raw. After about an hour of repeatedly putting the steaks back in, setting the timer, checking on the steaks were lukewarm at best, but were still very raw looking. I was beginning to get very confused and concerned at this point, thinking there was something wrong with our oven. So, deciding to seek some outside assistance, I called my father to see if perhaps he could shed some light onto our problem. And after explaining the situation to him, he asked me, is it an electric stove or is it a gas stove? To which I replied, well, it's an electric stove. There was a long pause. And then my father started laughing. And laughing. And laughing some more. And when the laughing fit finally subsided, my father told me, well, good luck cooking them steaks in the pot and pan storage drawer. Epic fail. So, moral of the story is, unless you like your steak very, very rare, don't try to cook them in the pot and pan storage drawer. If you fine folks are wondering what I'm up to right now, I am heading to the 188 because I could use me a companion to help accompany me on my travels and carry my burdens. The good thing about the route I'm taking there is that we avoid discovering any unnecessary locations, and we have avoided encountering any hostile creatures or enemies on our way there. I really like trying to obtain the companions as early as possible, because it really helps early on when you're trying to loot and you need all that extra carrying weight. Plus, especially when you're low level, your companions are gonna be stronger than you are. They're gonna be able to tank enemies that can probably kill you in 1 or 2 hits. And that is pretty darn cool. Alright, we're here. Finally. Whew, tired from all that walking. Need to find somewhere to put my feet up. Arms merchant? Sounds like just my kind of people. How you doing, ma'am?
You a merc? 'Cause you don't look like a prospector.
More like wasteland badass.
Hell yes, sir. Well, not officially. Not anymore. They mustered me out a year ago. Administrative discharge.
Administrative discharge? Those jerks!
Staff Sergeant, 3rd Platoon Bravo Company. I was at the dam when the Legion hit us 3 years back. That was a shitstorm, and don't let anybody tell you different. The brass tried to play it down, but most of them were back at McCarran.
Whoa, you've seen some heavy stuff.
I didn't. My CO ordered me to flog a couple deserters, and I told him to eat shit. So they kicked me out for insubordination. Those kids didn't desert. They just got liquored up on the strip and missed roll call. I don't know what else the brass expects. Half these kids don't get more than 2 weeks of training before they ship them out here.
Yeah, I probably would have done the
Going
same
home
if I were
didn't
in
feel
your
right.
shoes, ma'am.
Not with those savages camped on the other side of the river sharpening their knives. And I still get to see my old platoon when they pass through here. Make sure the new CO is treating them right, and sneak them extra ammo. Anyway, I was always complaining about the standard issue gear. The new kids don't even get body armor. Can you believe that?
Bunch of NCR cheapskates? Jeez.
So I hooked up with a couple other vets. Bribed a gunrunner. Now we're supplying grunts, mercs, and anybody else on our side. We don't make much, but at least we're saving lives.
Guess the NCR doesn't really care about holding the Mojave.
Vegas is bleeding us dry. We're tossing caps at 100 different problems, while Caesar bides his time and lets us wear ourselves out. This war is gonna bankrupt the NCR unless we finish off the Legion fast and dirty. We shouldn't be perched up at the dam. We ought to be crossing the Colorado and sticking a boot up Caesar's ass.
Hoorah!
Sure, no problem.
Wow, you have some nice stuff, ma'am. I will have to remember this and come back here later. Right now, little broke. We'll just take the freebies, though, and run.
I've still got guns and ammo if you need them.
You get much business around here, ma'am?
Sure do. Lots of folk been coming out east, sorting through junk, looking for whatever they can sell. Times are tough back home. Too many people, not enough work. Unless you like shoveling Brahmin shit.
Yeah, that
I'll be
sounds
here a
like
while
kind
yet,
of a crappy
if you need any
job.
guns or ammo.
Da-dum-tsh.
I've still got guns and ammo
So,
if you...
we're just gonna mosey on around here and, talk to all the various people around here. See what there is to see what there is to steal. I mean, borrow. It's not stealing, it's borrowing, without the thought of return. Completely different. Don't confuse the two. Besides, by laws of video game logic, what belongs to everyone on this world belongs to me. Me, because I'm the hero, and I need it.
Passes for a firearm around here. You'd be better off throwing rock.
Oh man, now I totally want a
you?
throwing rock weapon. That would be so cool.
Like you have a clue what that even means.
Like you're kind of a jerk.
The gun runners have been putting rapid-fire death dealing in the hands of anyone who needed to defend himself for over a century. We're the NCR's #1 supplier of weapons and ammunition. You might call us an unofficial branch of the Army.
Well, I need to defend myself. I'd like some
I'm a
rapid-fire death
salesman.
dealing.
I swing through McCarran and the dam once a week or so to take orders. But lately, I spend most of my time in this piss heap. Ever since the 15 shut down, all caravans come through here, right to me. I check the stock and direct deliveries onward to meet orders. Sure, it stinks to hang out here, but it won't be forever. Plus, I can afford a monthly bender on the strip and still build up my nest egg.
Fiscal responsibility. You know what? You're all right in my book.
Not much to tell. A Brahmin or two loaded up with weapons, and a whole mess of well-armed guards to make sure it ends up where it's supposed to. One nifty bit, though. The gun cases are rigged to explode, so trying to loot one of our caravans doesn't do much good. And that's how the NCR stays equipped. The only thing we don't bring in is energy weapons.
Well, that's strange. Why don't you sell energy weapons?
We used to, but every caravan carrying them was getting ambushed and wiped out by someone sophisticated enough to know which was which. We think it was the Brotherhood of Steel. Those crazies always go hard for energy weapons. But the NCR would rather pretend they killed all of them.
Hey, don't you be talking bad
You
about
like it any
Brotherhood.
better if I tell you to fuck off?
Ooh, you're lucky you're fiscally
Still
responsible.
making a nuisance of yourself.
Or you'd be in trouble. You know what? Don't you have anything
Still making
to
a
sell?
nuisance of yourself.
Jeez. All right, let's see your
Later.
wares, jerk face. Come on.
Still making a nuisance
What do you
of
got? Show me what you got for sale.
Am I selling? Yeah. Am I selling to you? No. Sorry to hurt your feelings, but you're small time. Move along.
Ooh, you're
There's
pushing
usually
it.
a gun merchant hanging around topside. I'm sure she'll take care of you.
All right, come on, man. Sell me
Do I
something.
look like a fucking arms caravan to you? Do you think the gun runners keep the NCR military supplied by carrying weapons and ammo from the boneyard out here by the armload? Get a clue. We have caravans. We deal in bulk.
You watch your back, buddy. You better hope you don't
Hey.
meet me in a dark alley. Huh. Well, we just landed our 3rd speech failure. 3 out of 100. Yeah, we got a long ways to go yet. Oh well, we'll get there eventually, folks. Don't worry. Well, sorry about that interruption, folks. I had to take a brief break. But I'm back now. Drat! Over encumbered. Oh, I forgot to put away all my stuff. Yes. I did a bunch of looting off camera. And like the brilliant guy I am, I forgot to put it all away. Oops. Well, that's alright. We're about to, befriend our mule here.
No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads. Where'd you come from?
Make sure you drink a beer before talking to
That's why I
Veronica.
asked. My business is boring. You try trading and scavenging for a living and see if you don't start nosing into other people's affairs. Well, welcome then. I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground.
The reason why is to lower your intelligence by 1 point.
Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way. But I'm not there much anymore. I'm usually out here picking up food and supplies for my family. Whatever they need.
What are you guys, a bunch of hobbits living in a hole?
Yeah, I'm not worried. They can handle themselves. But somebody has to get the groceries, know what I mean? And actually these days, I think they'd rather have me out here anyway. But that's a whole other story. So listen, can I ask you something on the level?
No, you can't.
Forget I said anything then.
Whoa, sorry. Didn't mean to be a jerk about
See
it.
you around.
Come on, Veronica.
Couldn't
Talk
get
to
enough
me.
of talking to me the
I'm
first time, huh?
sorry.
I had a run-in with this group calling themselves the Brotherhood of Steel. Pretty strange bunch. Do you know anything about them?
Oh, I totally know all about them. They're like 16 feet tall and they shoot lasers out of their eyes and fly.
I've got to admit, you have completely defied my first impression of you. Eye lasers. I'll be sure and look out for that next time. Any other juicy bits of intel?
What did she mean by that? I almost feel insulted. Humph.
Do they? Oh, that's a relief. I wasn't so sure myself. Protecting people from technology seems like a big job for such a small group. Hey, so where are you headed anyway?
I'm off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of New Vegas.
This is quite a journey you're going on then. Must be an interesting relationship to have brought you all this way. I'll be honest. You're the first person I've run across out here that looks like he can really handle himself. There are places I've never been to that'd be too dangerous for just me. What do you think? Maybe we could travel together. Help each other out.
I don't know. You look like you might just slow me down.
Good. That's the look I was going for. Trust me on this one, though. You'll be glad you brought me along. If I turn out to be a burden, we can part ways at any time. No hard feelings.
What, you're just gonna go traipsing off in the waste with a total stranger?
Nowhere in particular, really. Just hoping to see more of the world. Looking for a fresh perspective. I want to see how different groups have adapted to survive in the Mojave. See if there's something I can learn from.
Yeah, but your family?
Like
Won't
I said,
they worry?
they can handle themselves. And I'm not the only one getting supplies for them. It's a big family.
I don't know. I'm still not sold
Suit
on
yourself.
this.
You can always change your mind.
You look like you're gonna be more
Good.
trouble in your
I
work.
hope you come around. Shall we?
All right, let's go.
Now you're talking. One thing you should know first, though. I ask you about the Brotherhood because I'm one of them. I know, but I had to know how you react when I told you. We have made a lot of enemies. You still okay bringing me along?
Oh yeah, 'cause you could totally shoot eye lasers and fly.
I'm great at punching people. I'm not gonna lie. It's a gift. Well, thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet on her hand.
Warning,
Let's hit the road,
Veronica cannot actually shoot eye lasers nor fly.
You're making me
But
carry the
she
heavy
can
stuff, aren't
carry
you?
all your stuff, and she can punch people. She punches people good. So just so you're keeping up, the intelligence check that we just failed is one more speech failure. So now we're at 4 of 100. We're doing a little bit better. We're getting there. We'll get a lot more once we get to Freeside and around that area. So with Veronica in the party, she can carry 220 pounds of equipment. So that gives us about 420 pounds of stuff we can tow around. Oh, would you look at that? An achievement.
Welcome to the 188 Slop and Shop. How can I help you?
Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Name's Michelle. My dad and me run this store. His name's Samuel. I take the day shift and he takes nights. We came here about a month ago when Prim went to hell on account of the prison break north of there. Found a bin to call home and set up shop.
Care to come traipsing through the waste
There's
with a
more
total
to the
stranger?
188 than meets the eye. Troops move back and forth on 93 all the time, and 95 is how NCR folks come and go from Vegas. No shortage of customers, so long as Legion raids south of here don't get worse anyways.
So what's a pretty lady like you doing at such an
You
awful
do know
place
these old
like
roads
this?
were numbered, right? We're standing where the 95 and 93 meet, and 95 plus 93 equals 188.
Yay, we're learning math.
Not much. I hear some folks got killed down by Nelson. Or was it Novak? I don't know. If they come up this way, me and Dad'll go someplace else.
Well, pretty lady, let's see
Have
your
a look.
wares. Well, there doesn't actually look like anything worth spending our money on right now.
Bye.
We need to save it all as much as possible for when we get to Freeside and start gambling. So let's mosey on over here and see what's underneath this bridge. See if there's anything interesting down here. Bunch of junk. Oh, what do we have over here? What is going on over here? Sugar bombs are fairly rare and appear in several crafting recipes, so always make sure to snag them when you run into them. Anyone else like collecting gnomes in Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas? I like picking up every gnome I see and then decorating my house with them. When my fiancée played through Fallout 3, she did the same thing, only with teddy bears. Her entire house was filled with teddy bears. Piles and piles of them. All right, the forecaster. Let's hear what the weather report's gonna be. Cloudy with a chance
Hi,
of
mister.
acid rain?
I hope you're doing fine today.
All these children left behind? I thought it was no
I
child
don't
left
have a mama or
behind.
papa anymore. I see them sometimes when I take off my medicine, but they can't stay. I'm pretty used to being on my own.
All right, kid, I'll buy some of your Girl Scout cookies.
Oh, I don't sell things, mister. I sell thoughts.
Excuse me? Say what?
That's not junk. That's other people's thoughts. People had to think to make them, and the thoughts got stuck inside. I need other people's thoughts to fill my head when I'm not thinking myself. Otherwise, it's...
People tell me all the time my head's empty too, kid.
I can take off my medicine and do some thinking. People say it's real interesting. I don't know, because I never hear it. Some people say that it's a gift. Other people say it's the kind of thinking anyone could do if they watched more than they talked. I don't know which is true. I see a lot. I think a lot. There's a lot to hear through the 188, too. That maybe accounts for the thinking.
I totally want a sweet helmet like that.
This thing on my head is headache medicine. It works real good, except I can't think when it's on. Really think, I mean.
Oh, I totally want psychic powers too. Let me buy your headache medicine.
Thinking hurts you, too? Aw, I wish I could let you have the one on my head, but I can't. It hurts real bad when I don't wear it.
Yeah, thinking hurts
So
my
long.
head too. Yeah, don't worry. We'll come back and buy his thoughts later on. But right now, that's a little bit too expensive for my tastes. We really can't afford it right now. But we'll come back later. All right, after we finish introducing ourselves to the denizens of the 188,
People usually aren't
we'll
stupid
hit the
enough to-
road.
This job's boring enough without talking to you. Go see Alexander.
Jeez, you're as big a jerk as your boss.
Do you believe there are folks who'd pay 500 caps for a steak dinner? Over at the Ultralux, honest.
Guess they've never had my steak dinner then. Cooked in the pot and pan drawer. My speciality.
The gunrunners ought to help the followers by donating some of that firepower they've got. Wish the followers would get me some better armor.
All right, just one more guy to talk to and we can get out of here. Sorry about that, folks. This guy disappeared from my game. Wasn't until I slept that he finally popped back up.
Slop and Shop. Like our slogan says, it's better than nothing.
Good slogan. Fits pretty well.
Samuel Kerr at your service. Me and my daughter Michelle run this fine establishment. We came here from Prim about a month past. Doesn't look like much, but it's one hell of a location.
Now, why in the world would you leave a perfectly good town
Michelle
like
and
Prim?
I ran a little shop in Prim till a prison break north of town spoiled it for everyone. Goddamn convicts just about shut down I-15. When traffic dried up, we took to our heels to find us some customers. I'm not one to sit around waiting to get saved, and Michelle ain't neither.
So, why'd you pick this place?
When 15 shut down, 95 became the route NCR citizens used to get to the Strip, or limp back home, after the Strip's drained 'em of caps. We get 'em coming and going. Coming, the suckers flush with caps they saved to gamble on the Strip. And going, the same folks, but now they're losers who'll trade you the shirt off their backs so they don't starve before they make it back home. Add in the troopers marching back and forth from McCarran and the Dam, and well, let's just say we don't miss Prim.
Well, I
You
don't
bet.
think I'd miss Prim either. Well, what do you got for sale? Bunch of food and drink? Well, those gecko steaks look mighty tasty. I guess I'll take one for the road. Maybe a late night snack. So, you repair stuff too, huh?
Let me see what I can
How much
do.
that gonna set me back? Well, yeah, I can't afford anything that rich right now. I'll be back later, though. Alright, come on, Veronica! Adventure awaits! Alright, we've wasted enough time at this scrap heap. Time to head to Freeside and win us some money. With Lady Luck on our side, and the handy-dandy reload button, we can't possibly lose. Can we? Well, maybe I better save just in case. You never know. Alright, folks, it's a long hike from here. So buckle your seatbelts. I'm gonna kick this into turbo mode. Go gadget robot legs. No worries, folks. I ain't cheating. This is just the magic of video editing. Just fast forwarding the video, because it's a long hike. Since we have some time, I'd like to go over a few viewer questions. I recently had a viewer ask me, Roawyn, how do you know so much about Fallout New Vegas? Well, I have played way more Fallout New Vegas than any sane person ever should. I really enjoy the game, and I have been very determined to plumb its depths for every secret. Next question. Yes, you in the back, with your hand raised.
Roawyn, why haven't you fought anything? I think you should be fighting stuff. I watch your videos and you have yet to fight anything of interest.
Well, I'm glad you asked. It's important part of getting the At a Loss for Words challenge is keeping your level low so your skills don't get too high too fast. So I'm gonna be avoiding a lot of unnecessary combat, at least for a little while. Next question. Yes, Roawyn, why are you so awesome? Well, my dear viewer, it's hard to quantify true awesomeness like mine. And I'm humble, too. Alright, looks like we only have time for one more question. Yes, you there, jumping up and down, waving your hands wildly. Hey, dude, will you, be, totally playing all the expansions and stuff? 'Cause, that would be totally rad and stuff. Absolutely, my articulate friends. I have every intention of, once I complete that Lost for Words challenge, of going on and showing you many other fine aspects of this wonderful game. Fantastic! Freeside. We won't be going there this episode, though. Sorry to burst your bubble, folks. Next episode, we'll be doing things in Freeside. Before I quit for this session, I'm gonna run on over and get the New Vegas Medical Clinic on my map. And do I have a treat for you folks next episode? I'm gonna be showing you how to get Eulogy Jones's hat. Now, for those of you who already know how to get it, well, maybe not so much of a treat. But for those of you who didn't know it was in the game, well, this is gonna be a real eye-opener. Quick word of caution for all you. When you come over here to the New Vegas Medical Clinic, make sure you don't accidentally get the Crimson Caravan Company on your map. It's right next door. It's the barrel with fire and smoke coming out of it. So try and stay away from that because, well, we don't need to unlock any unnecessary areas. Well, folks, our time is drawn to a close. But wait, before we part ways today, I have a special treat. A little word from our sponsor. Yee-haw! Head on down to Durable Dunn's Discount Armor Emporium. We got leather armor, we got combat armor. Heck, we're just giving the stuff away. At Durable Dunn's, our prices are so low they're killing the competition. Yep, head on down to Durable Dunn's, tell them Roawyn sent ya. You'll get your armor at prices so low, you'll think it was a steal. So head on down to Durable Dunn's today and see what we have to give to you. Breaking news. We interrupt your regularly scheduled programming because all the employees at Durable Dunn's have mysteriously ended up dead. Yes, dead, folks. Well, that's a shame. I guess just help yourself to whatever's lying around and head on your way. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. So, coming to Durable Dunn's Caravan here, we can snag us some combat armor, which is going to be real nice. It's going to make us very, very hard to kill early on. And we'll end up with a pair for ourselves and a pair for Miss Veronica. For those of you who don't like medium and heavy armor, you can always go the light armor route, and at level 2 you can take the light touch perk, which gives you a plus 5% chance to crit
You're making me carry the
while
heavy
wearing
stuff,
light
aren't you?
armor. And then anytime after level 4, you can take the Travel Light perk, which gives you a plus 10% movement speed increase while wearing light armor. These are some really nice bonuses. The only problem with them that I have is that you basically have half as much damage reduction. And since I'm going with a heavy health regen build, I'm going to have a high damage threshold, allowing me to soak up scads of damage. Well, that's all the time we have, folks. I'll be seeing you fine folks next time. Same channel. So long.